ESPN Wisconsin's Coaches Week. We are at UWM Milwaukee with fourth-year head coach Bart Lundy ahead of the 25-26 season. Coach, contract extension. You're back, baby. 5-year extension earlier this year. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's always better to be wanted than not wanted.
That's true. That's what you told me last year, too. Yeah. And you're still wanted. Entering year 4 here at UWM. Really good year for you guys last year. Second place in the Horizon League, but always that heartbreaking finish in the quarterfinal.
Yeah.
We'll get into the roster and some of the changes there, but as you walk away from a loss in a quarterfinal of the Horizon League tournament, I imagine that's stuff that keeps you up at night?
Yeah. So I was looking back, and in my career, which is 20 plus years as a head coach, I think maybe this is 25. There's only been 3 times I've lost in the quarterfinals in the conference tournament, and Campy's gotten us twice, 2 years in a row. So you get to March, and it is about matchups, and you got to give Oakland credit. They've bounced us twice. So that part keeps me up, and obviously not the ending we wanted, but it was not a game that we played poorly. They outplayed us, and that happens. So got to be a big boy, and put one foot in front of the other, and the next day the portal's open, and so you don't dwell on it, and you keep going. But second place and quarterfinal loss, even though you win. Or whatever we won, 22 games. We want more.
Yeah, you always want more, though, right? I mean, that's just the profession you're in. But I don't know if you ever take a moment to reflect, Bart, because it's impressive what you've done in your 3 years here. You've won 20 games all 3 years. The last guy to do that here was a guy by the name of Bruce Pearl. It's pretty good company for you as you look to make it 4 years in a row here this year. Pretty ridiculous, I would argue.
Yeah, anytime that you can be mentioned with Coach Pearl it's a huge compliment. The staff that we've had has been here since day one, since we hired them. Same staff entirely, which is that type of continuity. Even though you have more turnovers with the players than you used to have.
Yeah.
We had the most players returning of any team in the Horizon. So I think when people look at the program here in Milwaukee, you can see stability, new 5-year contract, same staff, got a lot of guys that want to come back and play here again. So if you can keep that going and you can sustain success, that's what I want to be about.
Your journey is awesome because it's pretty much North Carolina and the city of Milwaukee. That's your coaching journey. Obviously, you go way back to your time at Marquette as the Dobo, and now back here for your 4th year as the head coach. Why Milwaukee? What makes this place so special to you?
First of all, I tell people this, like if you had scripted this out when I was getting into coaching, I would have said there's no way. But I came to the first day that I was ever in Milwaukee was the first day I landed and went to work at Marquette. It's the first day I'd ever been here. And like most people who are from the East Coast or the West Coast or the Deep South and have never been to Milwaukee, I was blown away. Mm-hmm. And not only the city and how much character it has, but the people here have embraced me and our staff, our style of play. So somehow Milwaukee has become, home to me, and it's in my blood, and I'm happy to be here and represent the city.
And we're happy to have you, Bart. Things have gone well here entering year 4. Let's talk about the turnover a little bit in the roster. You mentioned it. I mean, we're in this age of NIL and always changes, especially at the mid-major level.
Right.
So you see 2 guys like Themis Folks and JaMychal Stillwell walk out the building. But something you don't typically see in the age of transfer portal and NIL is they wound up together at the University of Central Florida. So I imagine you're looking at the Knights a little bit this year just going, I'm proud of my guys after they go on to UCF, right?
Yeah, they're 2 of their 3 captains this year. So, at one point, UCF had offered Justin Thomas, who was here my first year, and actually had played for me at Queens as well, who was at Florida State last year, and BJ Freeman had committed to them. So the UCF almost ended up with 4 Panthers.
Wow.
Which is kind of crazy. I've tried, I'm an old school guy. I've tried to really roll with the changes in college athletics, and I think the biggest thing for me is I want to be happy for our players, and helping them get what they need in their careers. That's always been the mission, right? And before it was get them a degree here, become pros, launch them into adulthood. And now sometimes that is them finding a new spot where, financially, it's hard for those guys to say no to the Power Fours. So I think in each case, we are doing our job and we're putting them in places to be successful. So I'm happy for those guys. I want to see them. They played Duke in exhibition the other night, and I would say they were two of the best players on the floor for UCF, and I'm happy to see that.
It's something I feel you and I have talked about the last couple of years when we've done this conversation, but as kind of an old school guy, how is it transitioning and trying to get used to the new age? I know last year you made a joke. You were like, I don't make the money Tony Bennett does, so I can't call it quits, right?
Yeah. That's for sure.
but I'm curious for you, as you adjust to this new wave of college athletics, you're at a mid-major. Those are kind of viewed as almost farm systems, if you will. And I don't mean that as an insult, but it's these guys want to go make more money at maybe one of the Power 4 or Power 5 schools. So how do you transition your brain from going, I've got 4 years of this kid, to maybe I've only got 32 games of this kid?
Right. Well, that's the spot on question, first of all. And I have really two parts to this answer. Number one, inside of every challenge is a challenge not having guys for more than 32 games. Inside of every challenge, there's always opportunity. So the opportunity is when we have recruits come on campus, they look at our track record. Not only, it used to be, okay, what are the facilities? Have you won games? Now they look and they say, all right, where did the better players end up? I mean, that's a part of this now. As crazy as that sounds, that's our track record. And our track record is really good. And these guys, when we're competing with other mid-majors, look at our track record and go, why wouldn't I play at Milwaukee? The style of play, all the things, the facilities, all that's still intact. And then some of those guys, when they're done, you make all league, and they're playing at the highest levels. So that's part of the silver lining. And the other part of my answer will be this. Some people have backed away from this challenge. I'm going to lean into it. I've got you for 1 year. I'm going to coach you so hard, and I'm going to make you better, but I'm not going to worry about what happens after this year. I think too many coaches go, okay, well, maybe I can't coach quite as hard because they might leave. They might leave anyway. So I'm going to coach you harder. And so our staff and myself, we're going to lean into it, and every day is going to be relentless. And hey, at the end of it, you might leave for money, but you're going to look back and go, wow, they made me better. They gave me everything that they had, and I think our guys have a good experience here.
Love that answer, Coach. That's really good stuff for why Milwaukee for other guys, right? And we'll get to some of the new additions you brought in this offseason, but I'm curious how you handle some of the outside noise. And maybe it's a compliment, right? You look at the poll that just came out. You guys are picked to win the league. You guys are picked to win the Horizon League. Do you care?
No. I care in the fact that I don't want to be picked not to win the league.
True.
I told our athletic director, Amanda Braun, that's always the conversation we want to be in. Doesn't mean it's always going to happen. I think we were picked to win the league last year.
You were.
We ended up second. So doesn't mean anything. But every year, I think more and more with the roster turnover, the polls in the preseason really just indicate history. Mm-hmm. So our recent history has been pretty good. And people think that, if we're not going to win it, we're going to be in the conversation. And you want to be in the conversation.
Tell me about Amar Aguilar. He's preseason first team. It's a guy. A lot of eyes are on him. Former junior college player of the year.
Yeah.
Tell me about the excitement you have for him and what he brings to Milwaukee.
Well, he's. And I don't want to keep repeating this because he's a walking bucket. And he just can score in lots of ways. He's big and strong. Can really shoot. has just a knack for using his body. He's just one of those rare scorers. He's by no means a perfect player. He's got his flaws that he has been working on every single day. And I'll give him a big compliment. It has nothing to do with his talent. He understands to even stay on the floor here, and for him to progress in his career at the highest level he can, it can't be all about the scoring, because he's got to do all the other things. He's got to guard. He's got to really understand the system. He's got to plug in to his teammates, and he's such a good young man that we see it every day. But it's a struggle. Like, he's one of those scorers where I'll let you get 2, I'll go get 3. You know?
Yeah.
That's how he's always played. But for him to get where he needs to go, he's got to be more than that. And I think that's where he's moving toward.
I love when we're leading up to the season and I start hearing buzz about a true freshman. What's Stevie Elon bring to this team?
Toughness, first of all. He's our second strongest guy as a true freshman.
He's 18 years old, and you're calling him second strongest guy.
Yeah, and we got some strong guys.
Yeah.
So he is. If you shake his hand today, he'll come away. He just tried to break my hand. He's tough. He's a great young man. His character, and I know everybody wants to hear about his talent, but part of his talent is his character. And there's never a day he's not in the gym. There's never a day he's not working on his game. Like most freshmen, you know, he's got a learning curve, but he's fearless. We've got 2 super fearless freshmen. I was just talking to our staff up in the film room. We could play the championship game tomorrow. We've got 2 freshmen, true freshmen, on this team who will never back down from anything. Not worry about the crowd. And Stevie's that. He's fearless. But he's got a kind of like Amari, can really score. Got some challenges defensively, like most freshmen. But big things ahead for Stevie.
But this is a physical league, right? I feel like when I talk to coaches in this league, physical's the word that always comes up.
Right.
18-year-old, 19-year-old freshmen, they're ready for that?
Yeah. One is super quick, and then Stevie's just a bull. He's like hitting a brick wall. So
he's the second strongest kid on your team at 18.
Yeah, and he can really rebound. There's a lot in that game.
2 key returners I want to ask you about, Lovelace and Fields. I know those are 2 guys you're thrilled to get back who are going to play some big minutes for you.
Yeah. Faison hasn't played in our 2 preseasons. He'll be back full go today. We got to keep him healthy. Last year he had 2 different injuries, three different injuries that really sidelined his year a little bit. But I think he's people will argue with this, but the best big in the league all around. Defensively, you can throw it to him. He knows the system. He really wants to win. He's really worked on his body, and he's a great leader. And then Johnny's growth is still mind-blowing to me. To watch him on Saturday and where he's gone in the last 2 years it's great. It's great for us because he's a Milwaukee kid, and got here, wanted it all to happen right away, had to really work at it. We had those 4 senior guards last year. He had to battle with those guys every day, and now has really risen into this position on the team, and you can just see him taking off. And I couldn't be happier for Johnny, and that he represents Milwaukee. And the same thing with, we call him Danilo. He is also a Milwaukee kid, and I think people are going to be absolutely shocked at how good he is.
How do you manage a rotation this early? I mean, obviously the season's just about to start, but you've probably got, 10, 11, 12 guys you're excited about, and then when you get into league play, that comes down to 8, maybe 9. How do you handle that early in the season? Is it just seeing what those guys do with live bullets?
Yeah, and people might not like this answer, but I don't determine the rotation.
That's such a coach answer.
It is a coach answer. They do determine it's their work every day.
Sure.
We rarely have a day in practice that it's not a war. So if you're willing to go to war every day and you really want it, you usually get it. And so they'll determine that. We have a lot of good players, so there will be guys that have to sacrifice, and that's not popular in today's world. Everybody wants instant pudding, but on good teams, you want to be an elite level team, there are a lot of good players who are sacrificing. And we have tried in our recruiting process, in everything that we do, to really recruit guys with great character. And if I could tell you one thing that this program has increased with this team, is we have the highest character that we've had since we've been here, but one of the highest in 25 years as a coach. So I think guys will sacrifice. It won't be easy. But communication with us, with the staff, having a plan of where you go. You might be sacrificing now, but here's what you got to do to get where you want to go. I think that's what great teams have. And it's not always the star. Sometimes it's that guy that's not getting what he wants.
I love that. A couple more things for Bart Lundy here on ESPN Wisconsin Coaches Week. For the first time in your tenure here, and for the first time since 2019, the Wisconsin Badgers are on the Milwaukee Panthers schedule this year, heading to the Kohl Center at the end of the calendar year.
Yeah.
I imagine you're pretty juiced up for that one. It's the in-state team. Obviously, they're coming off of a good run in the Big Ten, but good to have that little in-state rivalry renewed.
It is, and I would personally like to thank Coach Gard for allowing that to happen. It's something that I don't necessarily understand. I think we should all play each other. There's four of us. There's four of us. Everybody wants to see those games. Careful what you ask for. I'm going to lose most of those, maybe all those games. But it's something that should happen. Let the Wisconsin teams play each other and be open to it. And, we're at a level in our program where we're not going to hurt anybody's RPI or, damage anything. And the way I look at it, when I lose a game, it's a learning opportunity. And sometimes you get better. You get better when you lose. Sometimes you don't get better when you win. Mm-hmm. So I would really like to see this continue, and I'd like to see Marquette play, Green Bay and us, and I'd like to see all of us have a chance to play each other and increase the visibility for the basketball in the state of Wisconsin. And maybe I look at it through the Milwaukee lens, but I think that's what people in the state want to see, and I'm very open to it and thankful for Coach Gard for playing. Now, we got one date, so we play Fort Wayne on the 29th, have to go there on the 30th, Oof. And then Wright State 2 days later at Wright State. So wasn't the optimal date, but we'll play it whenever they're available, and we're grateful for the game.
You're going to be playing some ball around the new year.
We are hooping.
But you love that.
Yeah. They say I don't have any hobbies, so we'll just hoop.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah. Do you not have any hobbies?
I like to read, and got 4 kids. So.
Yeah. Well, that takes up enough time, I would imagine. Yeah. What do you read? What's on the
nothing good for me. Occasionally, somebody that I know will write a book.
Yeah, sure.
I'll read that, but mostly spy novels.
Okay. Spy novels, is that like you want to moonlight as like a spy or something? Is that like a aspiration of Bart Lundy?
Just trying to hide all the time,
Fair enough.
It's just it's a way to get away.
Yeah.
Mentally, it's my mental getaway.
The last thing for you, Bart, is I can tell you've got some swagger. You've got a lot of positivity towards this roster. You just call them, the highest character group you've had maybe in your 25 years.
Yeah.
You're feeling good about this 25-26 Panthers team.
I feel great about them. You get to the point in your career where wins and losses are important, right? But the way you represent your university and your city, and knowing that you've got a team that I would go to war with every night, I believe in these guys. That doesn't always mean you're going to win, mm-hmm. But I think that our ceiling is a history-making team. And our floor is we're going to be fun to watch. We're going to compete every game. You're going to see guys that will give everything to their teammates and the university and the city. So I'll take that. I'll take that every day. And then throw it out there, see where it lands.
I love it. Coach, appreciate the time.
Thank you.